Well, that's Betsy Ross. How true is it that she would be sitting there with George Washington and Thomas Jefferson asking this recently widowed member patriot of the Philadelphia community if she would mind helping them create the first Stars and Stripes flag for the new and soon to become independent United States of America, asking Betsy Ross in her house on Arch Street just a month before July in June 1776. How true is that? Well, we really can't prove any of it. George Washington was possibly, most likely, in New York at that time with his troops evading the British. So, just 2 hours south of where I am now in the bunker in Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsylvania, on Arch Street, Betsy Ross did live there. We can prove that. And she was born just 24 years before 1776. As Elizabeth Griscom, a Quaker in Philadelphia. And when she married her first husband, John Ross, in 1773, who was an Anglican, that she was disowned by her friends, and they started to attend Anglican. He died, though, in January of 1776. So it was not a good year for her. And beginning in 1776, she was probably distraught by the gunpowder accident that destroyed her, that killed her husband, and when he was serving in militia duty. It was in this. He was an upholsterer, and he bought the house or rented the house on Arch Street, which is known to this day as Betsy Ross House. We also know that she had a second husband about a year and a half later, Joseph Ashburn, who was a seaman, actually a privateer in the American naval privateers, except he was captured by the British and eventually died in Plymouth, Britain prison in 1782. But he did have two daughters with Betsy. But before John Ashburn had died in prison, he had a friend, somebody who knew there, who eventually survived prison and met and then married Betsy in May of 1783. And she married John Claypool, and he remained alive until 1817, actually outlasting the Revolutionary War. So even though he was a prisoner at Plymouth Prison, Britain, they had 5 daughters after he was released, and he did live for some time after. What we know of the story is that it was told by William Canby, who was Ross's grandson, as he spoke to the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, also in Philadelphia, as her grandchild, and relayed the story of how George Washington, as a member of the Continental Congress, came to her, and she helped create the very first Stars and Stripes banner of the United States. So, as a historian, how much of this can actually be proven? Well, honestly, not much. Not much is known about that meeting. And in fact, it may be as true as George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. However, what can we learn then about this young American female patriot? Well, we could probably determine that she was at least somewhat typical of the patriots of the time. Living in Philadelphia, she sacrificed 2 husbands, and to that cause also worked to create a new nation. And after the loss of her first husband, she became reacquainted with the Quakers. But with these new friends, they were the free Quakers, or the fighting Quakers. Quakers being pacifists, she joined a subsect of the Quakers that was patriotic and willing to fight against British tyranny. And so, maybe she, as many women, could be typical of the contributions made by patriots during that period, whereby they gave more than people could possibly imagine to the cause of liberty and to the young and new United States. Thanks for watching my video. This is my humble submission for History HIUS 512, Dr. Smith's American Revolution class. Thank you.